Ahora estamos en la página 137. Talking about the present progressive. Estar plus the gerundio. That's the gerund in English. The gerund is a grammatical term, is the word that has an ing attached to it. Like work is a noun, working is a gerund. Study is a verb, studying, it's a verb too, but it's a gerund when it's got the ing stuck to it. In Spanish, as you'll see on the top of 137, the way you do an ing, in English we just connect ing to the word that we want, and we make what we call the gerund, or the ing form. In Spanish, you take your verbs, hablar, comer, and escribir, for example, you drop off the AR, or the ER, or the IR, like you're already used to doing with the verb tenses, and you put on ando for AR verbs, and the combination yendo, I-E-N-D-O, for both ER and IR verbs. So notice you only got two different endings to worry about here, the ando or the yendo endings. Because ER and IR verbs kind of work together on this one, they get IE together in that ending. So you see the examples for phrases with the ing form on them. So we're going to go through to say, let's see, the green box down 2/3 of the way of the page, it says atención. In Spanish, the present progressive, which is what we call this combination of the verb estar with the ing form. We call that the present progressive. It's never used to indicate a future action. The present tense is used in future expressions that would require the ing form in English. For example, you see the phrase just below that, I'm working tomorrow. In Spanish, they wouldn't say estoy trabajando mañana, they would say the present tense, trabajo mañana. Because the ing form, this present progressive combination, is used for immediate events happening now, happening in the moment. And you see the list of verbs, ser, estar, ir, and venir. Rarely would you use those in this present progressive construction. You don't have to. Let's look down at the culture thing before we go on to activities with the ing form. El quetzal es la unidad monetaria de Guatemala. The quetzal is the monetary unit of Guatemala. Argentina, Chile, Colombia, Cuba, Mexico, República Dominicana, y Uruguay usan el peso. All those countries listed use the peso. Otras unidades monetarias de los países de habla hispana son, other monetary units of countries of Spanish-speaking countries are, el boliviano en Bolivia. In Bolivia they use what they call the boliviano. El colón en Costa Rica. The colón is what they use in Costa Rica. Y El Salvador, and in El Salvador. El dólar en Ecuador, Panama, y Puerto Rico, the dollar in those three countries. El lempira en Honduras, in Honduras you have the thing called the lempira. El Córdoba en Nicaragua, and El Nuevo Sol in Peru. El Nuevo Sol means like the new sun. El Guaraní en Paraguay. El Bolívar in Venezuela, y el euro en España. And Spain, being part of Europe, uses the euro, like a lot of the European countries do now. El valor de estas monedas no es estable. The value of these currencies is not stable. Y su equivalencia con el dólar varía frecuentemente. And their equivalence with the dollar varies frequently. ¿Cuál es la unidad monetaria de este país? What is the monetary unit of this country? On page 138, we got some practice with the ing form. In letter A, you have to say what the people are doing based on the pronoun that they give you down below as well. So like number 1 has tú, so you need to figure out the tú form of estar, and then attach the ing form of the verb that the guy is doing. So tú, this guy's eating, so we need the verb comer, take off the er, put on iendo, and that gives you comiendo. That word by itself just means eating, that's all. So what you've got to do is say you are eating, using the tú as our guide. So the tú form of estar, estás. Put the two together. Tú estás comiendo. Estás comiendo makes your present progressive form. You need both parts of that to make that work. You need some form of estar, and you need the ing form of the verb. The estar tells you who is doing the action. Number 2 says yo, and the person is writing, so we need escribir. Take the ir off of escribir, put on iendo. Yo estoy escribiendo. Número 3, Raúl y Sara, we've got 2 of them, so they are doing, what they're doing is dancing. So we take bailar, take off the AR, put on ANDO, we get bailando. Raúl y Sara están bailando. Número 4, Eva, she is serving coffee. Está sirviendo café. La profesora, número 5, está leyendo un libro. She is reading a book. Notice with leer, did it tell us there? Give us all the examples there. Take a look at the example of leer on the previous page. You've got some irregular forms of the ing. Leer is one of them. Instead of I-E-N-D-O, you turn the I to a Y. For some reason, Spanish doesn't like the look of E-I-E together when it's when you're putting an ending on a verb like that. So they change the I to Y. Has the same sound, just looks different. Looks better. Número 6. Nosotros y el chico, we and the boy. Oh no, okay. Nosotros, we're doing something, and the boy's doing something else. So nosotros, we are talking. Nosotros estamos hablando, and the little boy is sleeping. Y el chico está durmiendo. Letter B. Complete the following dialogues using the present progressive. With comer, just check, put in what you think might work there. Remember, it's got to be a two-part thing with estar and the ing form. Look at the person involved in each case. That way you can tell which one you've got to use. And then check your answers with what I say. Number 1 should be, ¿Qué estás comiendo tú? And the answer, yo estoy comiendo ensalada. Notice that comiendo is the same no matter what person it is. The only part that changes based on the person is estar. Number 2, ¿Qué libro están leyendo ustedes? Estamos leyendo Don Quijote. Número 3, servir. ¿Qué están sirviendo ustedes? Notice that it has a stem change to it. The E goes to I in this one. Yo estoy sirviendo refrescos y Luisa está sirviendo vino. Number 4 is decir, to say or to tell. It's also a stem changer. E goes to I in the ing form. ¿Qué está diciendo Juan Carlos? Está diciendo que está muy preocupado. Número 5, estudiar. José está estudiando. And then dormir for the answer. No, está durmiendo. Now letter C, you have to do it with a partner, do that in class. But la secretaria, number 1, la secretaria en la oficina. The secretary in the office might be working, so you could say, ella está trabajando. 2, los estudiantes en la clase, the students in the class, they might be learning, so you could say, ellos están aprendiendo. Number 3, los chicos en la cafetería, the kids in the cafeteria might be eating, so you could say, ellos están comiendo. Número 4, el profesor en la universidad, he might be writing. Él está escribiendo, you could do that. I mean, there's all kinds of possibilities here with these. Número 5, los muchachos y las muchachas, the boys and the girls in the party, they are dancing. Ellos están bailando. Número 6, el señor Vega en su cuarto, Mr. Vega in his room, might be sleeping. Él está durmiendo. 7, el camarero en el restaurante, the waiter in the restaurant, he's probably serving. Él está sirviendo. And number 8, la señorita Barrios en su apartamento, she might be preparing lunch. Ella está preparando el almuerzo. You can take your choice, do all kinds of things with that, play with it.